only one video game in the world and alone on an island with a laptop, I guess. Well, probably for me it would be this this game which is called Factorio, which is it's some sort of a simulation game where, well, actually the topic of the game is that you also control this little character, a small engineer who is also alone on a big planet. And his goal is just to escape the planet, and the only way to escape the planet is to build a rocket. And the trick is that he only has raw materials at his disposal, and so you end up, as a player, you end up building a huge factory, and the whole point of this factory is to build rockets. And so it's a really interesting game, because I think it's a game that appeals to engineers, or maybe software engineers in particular, because it's all about putting things together and then putting the things that you made together and so on, and just scale up and scale up and scale up until you have this sort of huge machine that serves one specific purpose. So it's yeah, I think that I could keep playing this game for quite a few years. I don't need another one.
Tetris. I think Tetris is one of the most perfect games because it's just what it is. I don't think it can be perfected in any way. It's actually been proven to be like really good for trauma and stuff, and it's also really fun, and anyone can play it.
I think that is a very silly question, I'm sorry. No. I really loved Fallout 2, but only because I did not play extensively Fallout 1. But it was my first encounter with video games, and it was such a pleasure. You know, I felt like the game had no limits. I could do whatever I want. I could be whoever I wanted. So I ended up being a boxing champion. Yeah, so that was great.
One of the games I always bring up from my youth that I played a lot is Age of Empires 2. So perhaps that, but mixed with Total War, like the grander scale battles. It's probably a choice between Age of Empires 2 and Total War, I would say. So specifically focused on wargaming and Middle Ages kind of sword and shield bows. That's, I guess, my main interest in games.
My favorite game of all time is, I think it's Resident Evil Code Veronica. Because I was a teenager when I discovered it, and it was filled with everything I liked at this time, and I still do love in video games. There's a strong storytelling, the characters are great, the gameplay, even if it can feel a little bit outdated now, really means something. You are running through zombie-infested rooms, taking the guns, objects, trying to progress. This is, I think it was the first time I met a game that gave me the idea to play seriously. It was not just having fun anymore. I have had games for only my old childhood, but Code Veronica, it moved me. I don't know. I think it's my all-time favorite game. I can't tell you exactly why. Maybe because of Claire Redfield, maybe because of Alex Ashford. It's my favorite game.
Because my favorite game of all time is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. It's made by Obsidian, 2005. And its narrative, I think, is still groundbreaking today. It's not the best playable game. It's not the most innovative gameplay. However, I think that the themes are still very, very modern, even 13 years later. And it's the game that made me want to make video games. So without it, I wouldn't be making video games.
The Settlers. Because I really like the whole economy system of linking different resources together.
I will choose a party game because I love playing with my friends. I think I will choose Ultimate Chicken Horse. I don't know if you heard about it. It's a party game when you put your friends in trouble, placing tricks. So I think I will choose this game.
I don't know. I will keep the Zelda Ocarina of Time because it was it's a game that made my childhood, and I think I would like to show that game to other children later, in the dark future where there is no video games anymore.
I will say, but this is not the best one, it's Duck Hunt, because I have super cool memory with me at 6 years old trying to kill the duck in front of my TV. But that's the only reason, because I can choose for the best game. So I will just choose the one with the best memories.